The Secret Garden. Once upon a time, in the rolling hills of England, there lived a little girl named Mary. Mary was a lonely child who had been orphaned by a tragic accident. She had been sent to live with her uncle in his grand estate, Misselthwaite Manor, in Yorkshire. At Misselthwaite, Mary was given her own room and all the luxuries she could want, but she was still unhappy. She was always alone, with nothing to do and no one to talk to. She was a sullen, spoiled child who never smiled and never laughed. One day, while exploring the manor, Mary stumbled upon a secret garden that had been locked up and abandoned for many years. She was intrigued by the overgrown plants and the mystery of the garden. She decided that she would explore the garden and try to uncover its secrets. As she spent more time in the garden, Mary began to change. She started to smile and laugh, and she became more curious and adventurous. She made friends with a robin who lived in the garden and discovered that she had a green thumb. She worked hard to clear the weeds and the overgrown plants, and soon the garden began to thrive once again. Mary's transformation did not go unnoticed. Her uncle, who had been distant and uninterested in her, began to take notice of her. He saw that she was a kind and caring child who was working hard to bring the garden back to life. He started to spend more time with her and became a kind and loving uncle. As Mary continued to work on the garden, she discovered that there was a secret that the garden held. She heard strange sounds coming from behind a wall, and she was determined to uncover the mystery. With the help of her new friend, Dickon, she found the key to the hidden door and opened it. Behind the door, she found her cousin, Colin, who had been hidden away in the manor by his father, who believed that he was a sickly and weak child. Mary and Dickon worked with Colin to help him become stronger and healthier. They spent their days in the garden, breathing in the fresh air and playing in the sunshine. As the garden continued to bloom, Mary, Colin, and Dickon became the best of friends. They laughed and played and explored the garden together. They had discovered the magic of nature and the power of friendship. They had also discovered the joy of life, and they knew that they would never be alone again. In the end, the garden became a symbol of hope and renewal. It was a reminder that even the most neglected and forgotten things can be brought back to life with love and care. Mary, Colin, and Dickon had discovered the secret of the garden, and they knew that it would always hold a special place in their hearts. As the months passed, Misselthwaite Manor became a happier place. Mary's uncle had become more involved in the lives of the children, and even the servants were happier, as the positive energy of the garden seemed to spread throughout the estate. One day, Mary received a letter from her ayah, the servant who had cared for her when she was a baby in India. The letter brought news of her former home and the people she had known there. Mary shared the letter with her friends, and they were fascinated by her stories of India and the exotic creatures she had seen there. The children decided to create a special place in the garden where they could imagine they were in India. They created a small pool and surrounded it with colorful flowers and plants. They even found an old statue of a Hindu god and placed it in the center of the garden. They called their new creation the Raja's Garden. The Raja's Garden became a magical place where the children could imagine that they were in a far-off land, surrounded by the sights and sounds of India. They would spend hours there, playing and dreaming. As the summer came to an end, Mary's uncle announced that he would be leaving for a business trip to Europe. He promised to bring back gifts for the children when he returned. When he returned, he brought with him a special surprise. He had arranged for a doctor to come and see Colin. The doctor examined Colin and declared that he was not sick at all, but had simply been kept in bed for too long. Colin was overjoyed to hear that he was not ill, and he ran outside to tell Mary and Dickon the good news. The children raced through the garden, laughing and shouting with joy. They felt as if they could conquer the world. They had learned that there was magic all around them, in the garden, in their friendships, and in the love that they shared. As they grew older, Mary, Colin, and Dickon never forgot the secret garden that had transformed their lives. They would often return to Misselthwaite Manor and spend time in the garden, reminiscing about their childhood and the magic that they had shared. And even though they had grown up and gone their separate ways, they knew that the garden would always hold a special place in their hearts, reminding them of the power of love, friendship, and the wonders of the natural world.